3 of Codex's 5 biggest claims actually hold up, but one only holds if you're not shipping safety-critical code, and the bug rate claim has zero data behind it. 3 out of 5, that's what the research actually shows. Codex dropped in April 2026, and people are already asking if it replaces junior devs, so I went through 6 verified sources, official docs, and community reports, testing Codex's 5 boldest claims to see which ones actually hold up. The one claim that could save you the most money on your dev team, fewer bugs than a junior developer, that's the one where I couldn't find a single published number to back it up, so stick around, because we get to that in Claim 5. My name is Brian, and I'm in these tools 12 hours a day, so you don't have to be. I go through the claims, I run the research, and I tell you what's real and what's hype, so you can make a smarter call before you spend the money or change your workflow. You've probably heard both that Codex writes ship-ready code and that it's basically fancy autocomplete, and the people deciding right now, solo devs, small teams, engineering leads, want to know if they can actually cut review time or if they're just trading time spent writing code for time spent fixing AI code. Claim 1, Codex writes code you can ship with minimal review. If this claim is hype, you're not saving time at all. You're just pushing the bug hunting to after deployment, which is genuinely the worst possible moment to find a problem in a production system. For non-critical apps, Codex-generated code often meets production standards, and community reports back this up. But for critical systems, the same source is clear. Thorough review, testing, and security analysis are still required, so the claim is partially true, and the line is complexity. So this claim delivers with a caveat. I was expecting a flat yes or no, but what the data actually says is it depends on what you're shipping, and for non-critical apps it holds up, which puts us at one of 1 claims holding up so far. Claim 2, Codex understands code context well enough to generate accurate documentation. A solo dev shipping on a Friday with 0 docs is going to feel this one hard, because bad docs cost you hours every time someone new touches the codebase, and that adds up fast. What surprised me is how broad this capability actually is. Codex generates inline comments, doc strings, API docs, and full readmes. And it can infer function purpose, parameters, return values, and side effects from code with no comments at all, following PEP 257 for Python and JSDoc for JavaScript. Context understanding is a clear win. I thought this would be the weakest claim. Autocomplete tools usually struggle with undocumented code, but Codex genuinely infers intent and outputs convention-correct docs. So 2 of 2 claims holding up now, and this one's not even close. Claim 3, Codex generates code faster than human developers. Every AI tool says it's faster, so the real question is whether the speed advantage is big enough to actually change your workflow, not just shave a few minutes off a task you were already doing quickly. The community reports are pretty wild on this one. Boilerplate and complex algorithms that would take hours manually are generated in seconds. And the inline bug-fixing speed claim is out there too, though I want to be upfront that one is community reported and I couldn't find independent verification. Speed delivers, I was expecting the gap to be kind of modest, maybe 20 or 30% faster, but hours of manual work shrinking to seconds is a real workflow change, and that puts us at 3 of 3 claims holding up. Alright, so 3 for 3 so far, but 2 tests left, and both of them get messier. Claim 4 is about whether Codex handles every language equally well, and Claim 5 is the one with no published data at all, and either of those could change how you think about adopting this. Claim 4, Codex handles 12 plus programming languages equally well. If your stack is Ruby, Kotlin, or anything outside the Python JavaScript world, this matters a lot, because if quality drops off sharply for your language, the speed win from Claim 3 basically evaporates when you spend that time cleaning up bad output. Python gets the best treatment by a clear margin, training data prevalence is the reason, and JavaScript and TypeScript are genuinely good, with idiomatic patterns like async, await handled correctly. But for less common languages like Ruby or Kotlin, quality is supported but not equal, and I couldn't find published benchmarks comparing across languages. This one's partially true. The parity claim doesn't fully hold. Python is a tier above everything else, and that gap is real. So 3 of 4 claims hold up with 1 partially true. And if your whole stack is Python or JavaScript, it doesn't hurt you much. But outside that, take it with a grain of salt. Claim 5, Codex generates fewer bugs than junior developers. This is the claim that would justify replacing a hire. If it's true, the cost math changes completely, because a junior developer in the US costs $70,000 to $100,000 a year, and that's the number riding on whether this holds up. I went looking for the data and I couldn't find a single published bug rate comparison between Codex and junior developers. Not one. And while the inline bug fixing claim shows up in community blogs, no independent accuracy benchmark exists, so the claim is plausible. But plausible and verified are two very different things. To be fair, this doesn't mean Codex produces more bugs than a junior dev. It just means nobody's published the comparison, and bug quality varies a lot by task type anyway. So even if the data existed, it probably wouldn't be a clean number, and the absence of evidence isn't evidence of absence here. This claim is unverifiable with current data, so no winner here. The final tally is 3 of 5 claims hold up fully. 1 is partially true, and 1 I couldn't verify at all, which is a decent result, but it's a long way from the clean sweep the marketing suggests. Codex genuinely shines on speed and context. Boilerplate and complex algorithms that take hours manually drop to seconds. It reads undocumented code and generates accurate docs including inline comments, doc strings, and full erradmes. And it supports 12 plus languages without retraining with strong Python and JavaScript output right out of the box. Where Codex falls short, critical system code still needs thorough human review, and Codex doesn't replace that step. Multi-language quality is uneven with Python well ahead of Ruby or Kotlin, and the claim that it generates fewer bugs than junior developers has no published data behind it, and that gap matters. Okay, so the overall picture. 3 of 5 claims hold up. It's worth it if you're prototyping, writing docs, or shipping non-critical apps fast, because the speed win is real. But skip it as a junior dev replacement until that bug rate claim gets verified, because that number doesn't exist yet. If you want to see how Codex stacks up against GitHub Copilot on actual production code quality, I ran that comparison and the speed gap flips in some task types. It's on the channel and it's worth watching before you commit to either one.